Go ahead.
Hi guys, my name is Macaulay Owuche. I'm going to assume the hypothetical role of a juror in this case. And let me start by saying we have witnesses, and we have the defendant, we have the police officer, and it is safe to say at this point that the prosecuting counsel and the defending counsel has equal amount of evidence. That said, I am particularly worried about the way the witness had explained the case when she called the police. She quickly assumed responsibility. She agreed that she had left her baby and she knew what was going to happen and still left her unattended and came back to call the police. Now that leaves me with a question of how is it possible for you to intentionally leave a baby unattended and then come back and call the police? And you not only call the police, you own up to the crime immediately. That raises a question in my mind that the defendant in question is probably not in a stable mental state. That said, the police officer said that she admitted to leaving the child unattended, and the other witness, Caroline Hosper, said that she has known the defendant for many months, and that she's been drinking and she's been having several boyfriends, and ever since her fiance left her. Now, that also raises another question in my mind, that she already has a preconceived notion about the defendant, and she had concluded that because of her drinking habit that she is guilty without even having questioned what could have gone wrong if she left the baby with somebody, maybe a babysitter, or maybe something was wrong with her. She did not question any of that. She had a preconceived notion. So my argument here is that all of that evidence she gave was as a result of her preconceived notion about the defendant. Now, that said, there is also another witness from the defense counsel that countered her argument by saying that she was a good mother. She provided for her daughter, she loved her daughter, she didn't see how possible it was for her to have deliberately left her daughter unattended and then came back and called the police. Also, we have two doctors in this case. One of the doctors said that he is experienced in being witnesses to cases like this. That makes me want to believe him, since he's very experienced, but he seems to also be biased because he didn't take into consideration what the doctor from the defense counsel has said, which is that the defendant in question already had postpartum depression. And from my medical understanding, this is very possible, because if the child was 6 months, if she had left the child at 6 months, that means she just had this baby probably exactly about 6 months ago. And this, as you may know, is the time when mothers usually have postpartum depression. And the doctor also said that she had come in for treatment and she has deteriorated into a maniac in 2 occasions and had come to the hospital. I want to also talk about the defense argument that there's several cases of abuse, and the counter argument from the defense counsel that even though there's several cases of abuse, but you don't want to hold somebody accountable for something she did not do deliberately. And as you know from the background that we're given, and according to the law, to find a person guilty, you have to prove beyond every reasonable doubt. And every reasonable doubt here means that in the mind of every reasonable person, you have to have convinced them beyond an iota of doubt that this person has committed the crime in question. Now, that did not happen here, because for that to happen, that means this crime would have been premeditated. She would have not just premeditated, she would have put conscious effort into committing this crime. But in this case, when she came back, she stated that she did not even remember the account that she gave the police. And in that account, she has stated that she left the baby unattended, understanding that she was going to be in harm's way. Now she doesn't know she said that. That tells you that also she's in an altered mental state. And, that leads me to believe that she did not premeditate this crime. She did not put a conscious effort into committing it, and she has had a baby, and she was diagnosed with postpartum depression. She was taking medication, getting treatment. The doctor confirmed that. It is easy for an average person, without looking at the law and without looking at the medical implication, to easily say she was guilty simply because she did it. But you have to look at the law that says beyond every reasonable doubt, that says she has to have premeditated it. In this case, she did not premeditate it. She did not put a conscious effort. She was in depressed state. She was seeking medical attention. She has also stated she did not remember the first account she gave. So in my opinion, as the juror, I would say she is not guilty. Thank you very much, guys.